Alright, and with this music intro that we have from Eloni here, welcome back to the Let's Play of our SpellForce 1, the Order of Dawn adventure. Now, the map's finally here. Some people have guessed correctly, but the map I wouldn't say dislike, but the map that I find the most tedious in the Order of Dawn, Eloni. Now, why I've elaborated on this in the past before, but the main reason for it is because this map tends to drag on a little bit. Not really with the main quest, but with, you know, some of the side quests that we will do. Speaking of which, the side quests should be visible on the right-hand side, the ones we complete in this episode and the ones we start. So, if you're curious about that, just, you know, move your eyes a bit to the right, you should be able to see them. Also, since I always like to mention that at the start of each video, if you want to be part of the community that we are trying to build up here, Discord, down in the description. Also the forum, the fan forum we have. Check them all out. It shouldn't be to your dismay, and you get to give suggestions and talk a little bit more about SpellForce. I actually got a couple of good suggestions already by some people, both for this Let's Play and for some videos, and I'll try to implement those as much as I can, so yeah. Also, if you're wondering, I will talk to, you know, Sidahan here. It doesn't make sense to clear this first, but I just want to have the spiders gone before I do anything else. So we'll do that. As for our character, where are we at? Let's see. Where are we at? There we go. As for our character, Black Magic, Light Combat Arts that we are doing. I kind of missed that one. Okay, we'll go back for that one. Yeah, we need a couple of spells because we have Black Magic on 2, and I would love to actually put some light armor points in here. So I think on level 6, yes, on level 6, we will do that. Alright, let's go talk to Sidahan now. I don't want to use the monument because, you know, she's gonna tell us to do it, so that would be a bit rude, I feel like, from us, but yeah, we don't want to do that. Speaking of skills, I had someone, one of the viewers of the Let's Play, ask me, or tell me in the comments rather, that he has a chart that he uses for stats. Basically, you can use that chart to combine certain abilities and it'll tell you how many stats you need. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of, not just for SpellForce, but in general of using charts to predetermine my build because I feel like it takes a little bit of magic out of the whole thing. That being said, it can be very useful for some people. I haven't asked the person if it would be alright to share, but, you know, I feel like it would be a nice thing if other people are interested, you know, trying to plan some builds, that they could maybe find it somewhere, maybe on our Discord, wink wink, and yeah, use it for whatever builds they want to make. But okay, enough blabbering about that, let's talk to Sidahan, the first elf we... not the first elf we meet, technically you are able to talk to elves, merchant elves in Greyfell, but the first elf we'll properly talk to.
Ihr Götter, das ist das Ende. Brannigans Armeen haben unsere Heimstatt umstellt. Sie brennen alles nieder. Wo ist Eloni da? Wo ist Utran? Wo sind die Heere der Menschen? Sagt mir, wo?
Abgeschnitten und eingekreist von der schwarzen Faust. Auch sie kämpfen um ihr Leben, so wie ihr.
Dann möge Elen uns allen gnädig sein. Sie haben den Kreis geschlossen. Wir sind verloren.
Well, that's not a very optimistic view of the world right now, but an understandable one, with the Black Fist being on the rise. But let's see if we can't help there. Maybe just a little bit.
Seid ihr aus dem Dorf geflohen?
Nein, wir versuchten einen Ausfall. Er misslang. Viele meiner Schwestern wurden dabei getötet. Diejenigen, die schon durch den Ring der Belagerer gestoßen waren, wurden abgeschnitten und in alle Winde verstreut. Ich konnte 4 Gruppen ausmachen, die in verschiedene Richtungen flohen.
Dann sollte sie jemand suchen und wieder in Sicherheit bringen. Wohin haben sich eure Schwestern gewandt?
2 Gruppen flüchteten in das Waldtal, eine davon in Richtung Osten. Die 3. wurde in Richtung Nordosten abgedrängt. Die 4. Gruppe steht vor euch. Ich komme alleine zurecht, aber bitte sucht meine Schwestern. Findet sie und bringt sie sicher zurück in die Heimstatt.
Well, that shouldn't be too much of an issue, and that's one of the side quests that we'll be doing here. One of those that requires a lot of back and forth.
Was kann ich tun?
Es sind Hunderte. Alleine könnt ihr niemals.
Ich diene der Rune. Ich kann euch helfen. Gibt es in dieser Gegend noch einige der alten Monumente?
Die gibt es. Dann besteht vielleicht noch Hoffnung. Hört zu, die Goblins der schwarzen Faust belagern unsere Siedlung. Welle um Welle brandet gegen unsere Verteidigung. Ihr müsst den Goblins mit euren Truppen in den Rücken fallen. Nehmt sie in die Zange, sie werden nicht mit euch rechnen. Sollte euch das gelingen, dann sprecht mit Lykande, unserer Anführerin in der Heimstadt. Sie wird wissen, was weiter zu tun ist. Nun zeige ich euch ein Monument. Folgt mir.
That seems simple enough. Let's follow her. I mean, we don't have to follow her. If the monument were a little bit, you know, further off, maybe, but for this one we kinda don't have to. Now, funny story about this map is, as a child, right, so for all of you who know, let me just show you on the map. There is a gate here. This gate we can eventually open. We need a key for it first. Now, as a child, I had no idea what would happen when you open the gate. And I opened it, you know, just left my few soldiers that I had and my character here, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna, you know, go do something in the meantime, because I had to take care of some things. And when I got back, my character was dead, and there were like 100 goblins here. Or what felt like 100. So, yeah, I feel like that was a nasty surprise as a child. Nowadays, it's not that hard to defend, you know, against those 100 goblins, but as a child, it really took me back. So the second time, I just built up a lot of towers here, because I had to replay the section of the map. I built up a lot of towers and sort of managed to push my way through afterwards.
Das Tor zum Waldtal ist verschlossen. Das war Zahn, dieser elende Verräter. Die menschliche Goldgier ist unersättlich.
Wie kann ich das Tor öffnen?
Zahn muss den Schlüssel gestohlen haben. Wahrscheinlich versteckt er sich in einem der Goblin-Lager. Das einzige diesseits des Tores liegt westlich von hier in einer alten Ruine. Aber seht euch vor, das Lager ist gut bewacht. Ihr solltet euch erst genug Truppen herbeirufen, ehe ihr einen Angriff wagt.
That's a very subjective take on what we need and don't need, but you know, I will heed your warning. I actually think it's possible to get through this part without making an army. It should be. Which is also something that I've been kind of curious about. I was thinking of, because how far can you actually get in the Order of Dawn without having to use a monument, right? So no monuments whatsoever. Now I know there's a hard limit to this, which would be the shield, because in the shield you need to collect lenya to, you know, get some resources. So that kind of makes you have to use a monument. You could cheat the resources in, but yeah, you could cheat the resources in, but I feel like that's, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose. So my question would be, how far you could actually get in this game up until shield without having to use a monument? Could you get through this phase? Because I believe you could. That might be an interesting video at some point. Just, you know, seeing how far I can make it without having to use it. Even better if I could, you know, if we say for the sake of the video, we'll cheat the lenya in the shield. And then kind of just use, you know, that to clear the final part. Wildland Pass might be very, very difficult. Not impossible, but kind of difficult, I feel like. But yeah, definitely something that's on my radar that I want to do. I'll make the woodcutter's hut here. I like putting it all the way down south because they will, you know, take care of some of the trees here, so I can put a fishing hut over there. And while that's going on, I mean, all of you can just work, I will start a bit of a clear in this direction. Let's see. A couple of goblins, as long as it's bruisers, level 1, forest spiders, these are fodder at this point. You get a bit of XP, you get a bit of money from them, but apart from that, they are inconsequential.
Die Linien müssen halten.
But that would actually be, yeah, that would actually be an interesting video to make. Can you get to shield without using any rune monuments.
Wir werden angegriffen.
I feel like you could. I really feel like you could. I should do that. I need to test that out. Not sure if I want to do that while I am doing this Let's Play, but maybe once I'm finished. Or maybe as a video, you know, in between. Just to kind of see where it goes. Alright, you guys make a quarry. You guys will make a mine as soon as we have the wood. That's gonna take a little bit. And there we go. Come on, bring it in.
Auf geht's.
Alright, so these are all taken care of. Small headquarter is going to be the next thing on the menu. I'm just gonna stand here and wait for them, you know, to pop out. I could go clear this. I'm pretty sure I can kill them with Berserk. The reason why I don't want to is because they might attack me. I'll get a little bit more extra XP.
Hier bin ich.
But that's really the only reason for that, so if we wanted to, we could.
Wird sofort erledigt.
But alright, instead of that, let's spend more time making our pretty village over here. Is it a village, or would that be more like a camp? I feel hard pressed to call it a village when, you know, they disappear. I actually had someone on Discord tell me that since, you know, when you make a forester and they plant a lot of trees, those trees stay, right? They don't disappear once you leave the map. So technically, it might be possible to make the buildings stay as well. I am not entirely sure if that, you know, how that would impact certain quests and stuff like that, because sometimes new things get revealed and, you know, all of that. So, might have a couple of risks involved with it, but honestly, if anyone can figure that out, I would be immensely grateful. Because that just kind of, you know, it's the vanilla experience, but you make it better by including a couple of little tweaks. So that'd be great. If anyone figures that out, please make a mod. I'll showcase it on the channel right away. Speaking of, that's also something that people have been asking me for, and that I've got a memo on Discord, which is I should make a video showcasing all the mods available for this game and just, you know, showing what they do. And I think that would be a nice thing, actually. Just showcasing some of the mods and, you know, giving a little presentation of maybe how to install them, if it's, you know, difficult. Some of them do have an installer, so I don't think it's necessary for all of them, but yeah, how to install them and what they actually do. My only concern with that, well, not really concern, but my only worry, I guess, concern, yeah, with that is whether or not I should include all the mods, or whether I should leave the big, let's call them, yeah, let's call them game-altering mods. Oh, wait, no. No. I forgot, that wasted me a little bit of wood. What I wanted to say is the game-altering mods, whether or not I should do those in a separate video. So game-altering meaning overhaul mods, right? That add maps, that add quests, that change units and do a lot of things. Because for the first video I make on that, I would just like to keep it to those simpler mods, you know? Maybe a texture update, unit texture update, ground texture update, quality of life, that sort of thing. I feel like that would be a neat video, because most of the mods are compatible with each other. At least from, you know, what I'm aware of, so that might be nice. My original plan might be a bit of a problem here. Because what I wanted to do is to... What I wanted to do is to make a fisher's hut here. And then a hunting lodge relatively close so they could both, but... Okay, you know what? We need to make some sacrifices. This is definitely suboptimal. I wouldn't recommend you do it like this. Can we put this somewhere here? And this is like a wooden area. Does not seem like it. Alright, so we will put it... I don't want to do it on the road. But we might have to. You know what? You guys go here. And we will put a food store here if this deer could, you know, or doe, sorry, if this doe could move. There we go. Make one like this.
Gebäude wurde errichtet.
And my coughs have still not subsided. So, if this video ever has okay, 3, that should be fine. If this video ever has some spots where I don't say anything for a while, it's because I'm coughing, and I muted it. So, sorry about that, it's not on purpose, but you know, can't help it. Okay, now before I do anything else, I do want to spend some of these guys to build me
An die Arbeit.
a couple of these, I guess, unit buildings. So Temple of Light specifically, and a shooting range. After that, I will just put all of them on other duties. For example, collecting Aria here. We only need 3 for this one, since there's only 3 nodes to collect Aria from. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Was wünscht ihr?
You guys can start collecting food, honestly. I don't think there's anything else for you to do.
Gebäude wurde errichtet.
It'll be only 4 of you for the time being, but shouldn't be too bad. Just waiting for that guy to start his work. There we
Auf
go.
geht's.
So you do it here. The reason why I did it like this is because now all of them,
Herr der Rune,
so I think
bin unterwegs.
you might be
Sofort
better off at a
erledigt.
hunting lodge, because there's just not enough nodes here. There's
Verfügt
3.
über mich. Habe verstanden.
Yeah, let's only keep 3 at the Fisher's
Zu
Hut.
Diensten.
So yeah,
Schon auf
it's
dem
all
Weg.
close and they can all bring it to the food store. There is definitely an argument to be made to leave more than 3 at the Fisher's Hut, but since we only have 3 nodes, what would... Actually, is there 4 nodes? Should be 4. Anyhow, what would end up happening is, you know, once one of them brings the food back, the other one is gonna take his place immediately. You know, that might be optimizing it, but I would rather have my workers hunt or, you know, build other stuff that's actually
Herr der
useful
Rune,
at the moment for me. So that's how we are going to do it. Let's see, the last thing I need is a shooting range, so we might as well do that. Let's do that, and let's do it... There's some space here, so we can... I don't like how that looks, but you know what, we might just have to do it. So you guys do that here,
wird sofort
another one,
erledigt.
and we can start making units. Yeah, let's just make 5 of these. One of the things I'm not the biggest fan of when it comes to human units is the scout. Because, as you'll notice, you know, rather soon if you play SpellForce 1, the scout is kind of obsolete after the first map where you play as humans, because you have a marksman. Which, right, it costs a lot more iron, right, that's a fair point to make for that, but there's just absolutely no reason to take a scout over a marksman. Especially with the marksman upgrade, which just makes them overpowered in this game. Being able to shoot 3 enemies at once. So yeah, I do kind of wish scouts had something else about them. Maybe they can see a lot further, because they're called scouts, right? Maybe they can, I don't know, shoot faster? Any, like, little quirk that would make me be like, oh, you know what, I'll take the scout over the marksman just because of that. But as things are, they don't really have that. Though some mods might address that, so I'll have to look into that.
Runenkrieger, zu mir! Das ist ein
Yeah, this should still be fine. They're all level 1, so nothing to really be worried about. If Zahn and Gobble attack me alongside with these ones, that might be a little bit dicey, but yeah, nothing much to worry about. The only thing we need is a shooting range right now, but once we get that, it should be a-okay. Actually, can I attack those? I'll do a little quick save before I try that, but I think I should be able to. Gobble and Zahn, let's go. Which one of those does more damage? I think Zahn, so let's try and kill Zahn first.
Vorsicht, Gegner!
Oh, yeah, we also go... Yeah, that's also a nice thing. Okay, that's not a problem whatsoever. That's also a nice thing that you can do, is if you're fighting ranged units, like Zahn in this case, just walk up to him. Oh, this... Oh, they... Okay.
Einsatzbereit. Gebiet sichern.
We can defend from that, but this is interesting. It's like a little counter-attack when you kill Gobble. So if all your units are focused here, you have this little counter attack that just sends them to your village. I feel like that's actually a really nice detail they put in there. Nice, pretty cool. Anything we can use that we got? I mean, we got in a coin that we can sell, a key that we'll need for the main quest, and nothing else really. Oh, actually, they don't attack you, they just... Oh, it's these ones! Oh, I see, I see. So, the scout ones, I guess, respawn from there. I don't know if this is related to us killing them. It might not be. Thinking about it, I actually don't think it is. It might just be them repopulating this area because, you know, we got rid of them. So, sort of a timer. Let's get rid of them again.
Augen offen halten.
Let us get rid of them again. Now, the best unit the humans have to offer. In my opinion. Well, maybe not the best, but a really good one. Let's make 5 marksmen with the upgrade. Nonetheless.
Sie schlagen zu. Gebt das Zeichen.
Oh, this shouldn't be a problem either. They're level 1, my recruits are level 2. We swapped the rune. That would have been really awkward if we hadn't. But yeah, they are 2. So we shouldn't have too much of an issue with the goblins. The orcs also level 1. Rough is a bit difficult, and some of the orcs later, when we get up further north on the map, will go up to level 3, I believe. So that might be a little bit tricky, but nothing too bad to worry about.
Feindkontakt.
Now, we need Arya. So let's take 3 of these guys and just start working here, shall we?
Einsatzbereit. Augen offen halten.
Okay, that's been cleared. Food's coming in nicely. We can already go up to 25. We won't necessarily need more for this map, but it's always good to have a little bit more in reserve. Also, one thing that some people may not know, I do think most do at this point, but if you want your units to regenerate HP and mana, they don't just do that on their own. You need 2 things. You need a food store, it needs to be built, and you actually need food. You see how our food says 77, 87, right? But it ends on an uneven number, or rather, not uneven, but it's not a 10, right? So it's not like 80, 90, 100. That's because when your units get wounded, in order for them to regenerate, it will consume a little bit of food, right? In this case, we don't have that many units, it just consumes like 1 or 2 or something. But yeah, you need food for that. If you don't have any, they will not regenerate. And in the same vein, if you don't have a food store, they will not regenerate. So make sure to get that. Very useful, especially if you're not playing a healer and you just kind of want to leave your units somewhere to regenerate, or if you are playing with healers but you want their mana to regenerate, because without it, they're kind of useless. So yeah.
Elend Segen.
Nothing new for us. Alright. I honestly don't think there's a reason to wait too much longer. We will make a couple of clerics at some point, but I do want to keep this going. So yeah, let's open the gate. Use the large gate key. Fits like a glove.
Hier, sofort.
Now, they won't attack us right away. There's a lot of goblins here. It'll take a little while, so I want to push out a bit, at least. You two I will take and make me a crossbow tower here. That's just a precautionary measure, in case, you know, someone pushes through. Wait a minute. That's quicker than I thought, but I don't think that's the main wave. No, it's not, okay. It's just a regular attack. There will be a main big wave of goblins. It'll reach us soon enough, but for now, let's just do it like this. Bro, what are you mining over here? That's a... I mean, look, they're doing it... Well, I guess, yeah, they're doing it properly. You're hitting a plant, my guy. I don't think that's the, yeah. It's not the way of doing it, but you know what? You do you. Somehow you pulled iron out of your ass, even though you were hitting a plant, so I don't mind.
Auf mein Zeichen.
Alright, I'll use a little bit of an aura here,
Auf mein Zeichen.
just to help my people. And look at this, marksman with the upgrade. It's insane. They just one-shot everything.
Ja. Sofort.
Alright, let's push out a little bit further. I like to mount my defense here, usually.
Mir nach.
Mainly for the fact that there's some elves here that we can talk to. I don't want to make clerics yet because I want them upgraded, but we can also maybe make them from here. It's going to be a bit closer. But yeah, there's some elves we can talk to, and those elves will give us a little bit of help. A bit of useless help, but help nonetheless, so we will gladly take it. Put that to 30, max our limit out, and yeah. Now we can start making clerics. In a little bit. Okay, they're not moving yet, so I think it should be safe to talk.
Was führt euch hierher?
Ein Auftrag des Ordens. Ist dies die Siedlung der Eloni?
Nein, sie liegt auf der anderen Seite des Hügels. Ihr müsst durch das Waldtal, um sie zu erreichen.
Wie ist eure Lage hier?
Beinahe hoffnungslos. Noch konzentrieren sich die meisten Angriffe direkt auf die Siedlung. Solange das so bleibt, können wir uns halten. Doch was danach ist, daran wage ich nicht einmal zu denken. Wir haben viele Verwundete aus dem Wald geborgen. Ich muss mich um sie kümmern, ihr entschuldigt mich.
I always found this funny, like, he shows up here. Is this Eloni? I mean, you sure? But there's like one building there, bro, you sure? I mean, I found it a little bit of funny. Especially because he uses the word village. Does that look like a village to you here? Doesn't to me.
Könnt ihr mir Krieger zur Seite stellen?
Einige der Verletzten sind wieder so weit genesen, dass sie euch begleiten könnten.
Gut. Die Bögen eurer Schwestern werden eine große Hilfe sein.
Hier sind sie. Sie werden euch folgen, wenn es sein muss, bis in den Tod. Hoffen wir, dass es dazu nicht kommt. Viel Glück.
Thank you for 3 archers. I mean,
Gebt das Zeichen.
look, I'm not one to complain. 3 is better than no archers, but you have rangers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got like a blade dancer, which I would love to have amongst my units, because you can't have a unit like that. I mean, you can, it's a worker from, you know, the texture, but you can't have it with blades, and I'd love to have that. Warden as well.
Bereit.
Why not? Why not? Ah, I can't use this. Alright. These are still not moving? Question mark. That's a big question mark. I think they might start too soon, so let me just make a couple of clerics. 5 should be fine. Oh, they are moving. I want to talk to there we go, Genkwai. Actually, for talking to Genkwai, I'll remove my mask. Just so we look the same. That said, yeah, let's wait this out first. Put our Batman-esque, Batman-looking mask back on and wait for the goblins to show up. There's quite a few. I don't think, even if I just leave them with my units, I don't necessarily think it will be an issue. That being said, it's, you know, safer if I'm there. And I want to avoid unnecessary issues. Alright, let's see. Yeah, there's quite a few. When I was a kid, when I saw this on the minimap, walking towards my village here,
Was
I
wünscht ihr?
crapped my pants.
Kein Problem.
Because look at this, there's so many. 100 might be a bit of an overstatement, but there's at least like 30, 20 to 30 here. Which, you know, is more than I have, so... Kinda scared me.
Jawohl, alles
As a
klar.
kid, kind of scared
Jawohl,
me.
Marschbefehl. Erwarte euer Kommando. Augen offen halten.
Alright, let's get them. I do wish my units would help me, but, you know, what do I know?
Vorsicht, Gegner!
Jawohl, alles klar. Sie schlagen zu.
Linien müssen halten.
Bleibt standhaft.
Yeah, it's looking fine.
Standhalten,
Should be okay.
Männer.
I'll take care of the spearmen.
Vorsicht. Sie
You
sind
guys
hier.
just do the rest. You know what? Since it's looking so fine, I think it's fine for me to just go
Sind
talk to
auf Feinde
Genkwai here.
gestoßen.
Had to clear my throat.
Sind
I
auf Feinde
apologize.
gestoßen.
But no, you guys can just do that. I'll do this.
Vorsicht, Sie sind
Den
hier.
Göttern sei Dank. Endlich kommt jemand zu unserer Rettung.
Was ist geschehen?
Tiermenschen haben uns überfallen. Wir sind Freihändler. Wir waren auf dem Weg nach Lianon. Plötzlich kamen diese Bestien über uns. Sie haben alle verschleppt.
I do hope my army's doing fine in the background. They shouldn't have issues, but it's funny hearing the battle music while you're just talking to someone randomly.
Wisst ihr, wohin man eure Begleiter gebracht hat?
Jenseits des Steintores, südlich von hier, gibt es einen alten Steinbruch. Dort haben sie meine Gefährten eingeschlossen. Bitte, ihr müsst sie befreien. Die Bestien haben das Tor verschlossen. Es muss eine Möglichkeit geben, es zu öffnen. Vielleicht kennen die Elfen einen Weg. Dies ist schließlich ihr Land.
Wer hält sie dort gefangen?
Die Tiermenschen haben uns an eine Bande Oger übergeben und sich dann über unsere Ladung hergemacht. Die Oger warfen uns in den alten Steinbruch. Nur mir ist es bislang gelungen zu fliehen. Bitte öffnet das Tor und sucht den Steinbruch im Süden. Erschlagt die Oger und befreit meine Gefährten. Ihr seid unsere letzte Hoffnung.
Yeah, honestly, if you manage to flee, what's to say that... Oh, I actually lost a couple of units.
Bereit für den Kampf.
If you manage to flee, what's to say that your companions can't, you know? I'd put a bit more trust in them, just wait. But no, I'll help you, Jianghuai. No worries. Yeah, the key we don't have, we'll get it a little bit later. But for now, we have to move out. Right. This was always a bit tricky when I was a kid.
Auf mein Kommando.
Because, I believe that it's better to
Und los.
clear the top one first. Because more people, or more goblins rather, attack you from above, rather than from the side. They might have some attacks from here as well. But what ends up happening if you go to the right one first is that if you don't leave anyone here, they might just kind of go past you and, yeah, bite you in the butt later on.
Auf mein Zeichen.
So, to prevent that, I will put those people there. I'm gonna talk to these rangers here and I'll get them to help us. You don't necessarily have to, you can also lie to them and send them to their death. But what I like to do is, you know, just to save a little bit of time, is to take these rangers and just have them help me clear this. They're not weak and there's 5 of them, so, you know, might as well.
Ihr seid keiner von Brannigans Leuten?
Nein, ich bin hier, um sie zu bekämpfen.
Dann möge euch mehr Erfolg beschieden sein als uns.
I'll do my best. The situation is unchanged. It is, but you know what, you can go home.
Ihr könnt heimkehren. Der Weg ist frei.
Frei? Seid ihr euch sicher? Wir sind zu erschöpft, um noch eine Schlacht schlagen zu können.
Euch wird nichts geschehen. Geht.
Gut, ich vertraue euch. Kommt, Schwestern.
Yeah, just trust me. Just trust me, bro. It's gonna be fine. Now, you don't want them to be the first ones into the fray, because that might actually, you know, cause them to die, and we don't want that, but
Bereit für den Kampf halten.
we do want them to help us.
Auf mein
So.
Zeichen. In die Schlacht.
Let's kill this thug here first. And then let's quickly go up.
Folgt mir.
Again, we don't want them to be first. I would feel insanely bad if any of them died, so...
Schnell. Für die Freiheit. Mir nach.
Okie dokie. Now, we're gonna go into this here. Most of the goblins are not much of an issue whatsoever. He might be, Urshuk.
Vorwärts.
So, what we're gonna do is
Sofort.
go in.
Schnell.
You guys just attack in general. I'm gonna go straight for this guy
Sie
here.
sind hier.
Actually, I don't wanna... Yeah, don't focus me with
Zu
everything.
mir.
Feindkontakt.
Let's just go on Urshuk. I wish I could get to him. I feel like my archers are gonna kill him before I even... Okay, there we go. Alright, wasn't too bad. You know, as a child,
Auf meinen Befehl.
many of the memories of SpellForce and its difficulty were,
In die Schlacht.
yeah, a lot more difficult than they ended up being. When you play it as an adult, you know, when you've played through it a bajillion times at this point, you just kind of think to yourself, you know,
Sie sind hier.
I kind of know what's going on, I know what's gonna happen. So I'm not worried all that much about it, but as a child, some of these, you know, units, especially these higher level ones, they were a real horror for me to handle. Because I always thought, you know, if he attacks me, my character, he might actually kill me. So it was always a wee bit of a concern. Caitlyn. I find it funny that she's a rune archer, Caitlyn, and there is a... I mean, most of the people watching this probably know League of Legends, right? There is a character called Caitlyn in League of Legends, and she is a marksman. She has a sniper rifle and shoots with it. So I like to believe in my little headcanon that whoever made the champion, Caitlyn, was playing SpellForce at some point, and he was like, oh, Rune Archer Caitlyn. That's a real cool name for an archer, or for like a ranged unit. And they decided to use it.
Hier,
Vorsicht, Sie sind hier.
auf mein Zeichen.
I would be very surprised if that's actually the case, but it would be very fun.
Ja, vorwärts.
Okay, now, before we move on, quickly go here
Bereit für den Kampf.
and clear the second village. I believe as soon as Lykander, is it? I think she should, yeah, there you go. As soon as Lykander walks out, there is a timer, I believe, for a counter-attack. We want to be ahead of this timer
Erwarte euer Kommando.
Hier.
and clear this village and then just post our people over here. Because it wouldn't be in our favor if the elves died.
Auf meinen Befehl. Mir.
I think one of the mods for this game, I'm not entirely sure which one, might be multiple, but one of those overhaul mods I talked about
Und los.
actually make it so that if you take too much time building up your village here, the village of Eloni will actually get destroyed. So it adds a little bit of a sense of urgency to the whole thing, which I like, I'll be honest with you. I find that cool. So if it's like, I'm taking a lot of damage here. But if I take like half an hour to get to the village of Eloni, I will find the village simply destroyed. I'm not entirely sure how that works with a lot of the quests and items you're supposed to receive, but, you know, might be accounted for. At least I think it is.
Mir nach.
I haven't tried it, but I think it's a nice change. I like changes like that, in general. It just makes the world feel a bit more alive, you know?
Auf mein Zeichen.
Alright, you go here, you go here. I will actually go over here, because that's where the second group of the elves
Erwarte
is
Befehle.
that we want to rescue. And that makes 2 out of 3. Sidahan, as she put it, you know, at first, is the fourth group. She's on her own, maybe because she's a bit of a better warrior compared to some of the others here. But she does not need help, the other ones, they do. So, let's see. Let's get the ranger, send them to Eloni, and then we have a couple of people to talk to.
Wartet, Schwestern. Kein Ork spürt uns nach. Ein Mensch ist es.
Und nicht euer Feind.
Dann kehrt besser um. Dieser Wald ist voll von jenen, die es sind.
I come in peace, come on. They've been defeated.
Rennigans Horden sind geschlagen. Ihr könnt heimkehren.
Bei Elen, ist das wahr? Sprecht ihr die Wahrheit? Gesegnet seid ihr Runenkrieger. Kommt, Schwestern. Wir können zurück nach Hause.
And I didn't even have to lie for this one. So that's a big plus point for us. Now, let's go back here. I feel like using third person for this, so we'll do it. One thing right? If I'm using third person, I love just seeing my units in the distance, seeing buildings, monuments, trees, the godstone here. Just makes it feel a lot more lively than it may be in third person. So I'm a big fan of this. One of the things, I believe I mentioned this at some point, but in SpellForce 1, it's incredibly difficult to play the entire game in third-person mode. I don't think it's impossible. There might be a couple of places where you might have difficulty doing it, but it's not impossible, I don't think. In SpellForce 2, they've actually made it so that it's very much possible to do it, because there's, it's easier to attack. There's also a lot of things that make your units, for example, follow your main character by just walking. You don't have to actually, take them and click to other places. So a lot of interesting things that I wish would at some point get implemented in SpellForce 1. Maybe if we get a remake. But I do think that putting a little bit more emphasis on third-person mode would be a very positive thing for the game. Makes it stand out a bit more from all the other RTSs, because this one's half-half, right?
Aonis Licht in dieser dunklen Stunde. Ihr seid ein Runengebundener?
Meine Dienste sind wieder vonnöten.
Nun, eure Hilfe ist willkommen.
You see, elves are nice. Humans treat you like a rune slave most of the time. Elves are like, you know what? Thank you. Your services, your help is appreciated.
Eure Heimstatt ist wieder in Sicherheit.
Nehmt unseren Dank, Runendiener. Viel mehr kann ich euch für unsere Rettung nicht bieten.
Das ist mehr, als ich sonst gewohnt bin zu erhalten.
Es wird lange dauern, bis die Wunden verheilt und die Totenklagen verstummt sind. Was habt ihr nun vor?
Ich muss weiter nach Osten. Der Schattenhain ist mein nächstes Ziel.
Dann seid gewarnt. So leicht geben sich Brannigans Truppen nicht geschlagen. Sie werden mit Sicherheit einen Gegenangriff führen. Und diesmal werden sie ihre Elite-Ork-Kämpfer schicken. Ich werde euch eine Gruppe unserer besten Schützen unterstellen. Mit ihrer Unterstützung solltet ihr bis zum Schattenhain vorstoßen können. Sie werden euch vor der Siedlung erwarten. Viel Glück, Runenkrieger.
There they are. We do have a couple of more things that we need to talk about, so I hope they can just manage on their own.
Wie gelange ich zum Schattenhain?
Folgt dem Weg jenseits der Brücke weiter nach Nordosten. Es ist nicht weit bis zum Portal.
Leben im Schattenhain noch Elfen?
Wir fürchten, dass er verloren ist. Schon vor Wochen haben sich Brannigans Horden dort ausgebreitet. Viele unserer Schwestern wurden erschlagen. Wir hörten, dass Brannigan dort ein befestigtes Lager errichtet hat. Er nutzt es als Stützpunkt für seine Raubzüge. Aber bis ihr das Portal dorthin erreicht, erwartet euch noch ein harter Kampf.
That I believe you, but more importantly, what about south?
Gibt es einen Weg, das Steintor im Süden zu passieren?
Hier, nehmt diesen Steinschlüssel. Er wird das Tor öffnen. Aber ich muss euch warnen. Es gibt einen Grund, warum das Tor verschlossen ist. Dahinter beginnt das Land der Tiermenschen und Oger.
Okie dokie. So, I want to talk to a couple of people. You need to mount a
Bereit, Auge offen
defense.
halten.
So, you guys can
Marschbefehl.
just be here, just bunched up. I don't think that should be an issue. And what I'll do is, I can't use these, but I can put these plans in. So, Smelting Works, in. White Hand, in. Academy, and some mages. So we'll do that. I want to build these buildings too, so why don't we do it? Let us start with a medium headquarter. I feel like that's a good first thing to, you know, kind of put out there. Maybe like here-ish? Yeah, why not?
Und los.
Let's do it like here. And then while we wait, let's see what this village is about. Now, village, would that be considered a city? You know, the thing in SpellForce 1 is a lot of villages are cities in the lore, but because of technical limitations, they're rather small. Even Greyfell, which is supposed to be the biggest city of the north, kind of Northander, is fairly small, if you look at it, compared to something like Imperia later, or even Seven Keeps from SpellForce 2. So, I'm not entirely sure. But I do believe Eloni is meant to be a city, you know, with the walls and so many buildings, resources. Makes a bit more sense.
Elends Friede sei mit euch.
Willkommen zurück.
Zurück dank euch. Elends Segen, Freund. Nehmt dies hier als Zeichen unserer Anerkennung. Ich hoffe, es wird euch dienlich sein.
Thank you. It's probably garbage, but thank you nonetheless. Oh, Sidahan's back. There we go. Silverbow.
Was gibt es, Freund?
Not too bad. We can sell it.
Willkommen zu Hause.
Das verdanken wir nur euch. Hier, bitte nehmt dies als Zeichen unseres immerwährenden Dankes. Und möge Elen euch auf all euren Wegen begleiten.
That we will take. Thank you. We'll sell most of the things they give us, but, you know, the mist crystals, we can get rid of the bows that we... or maybe actually Caitlin, once you put her in, she might be able to use that one. Damaged warrior helmet. Can I which one is it? This one. Ah, okay. Yeah, I can't use it, so not that useful. There is a chest here, which we definitely want to collect. And there is a merchant here, this man, Mark Shamir, which has... Are they attacking us? No, okay, not yet. But these ones will. Level 3, level 4. So we gotta be careful about those. What I do want to do with that merchant is go to him because he has a couple of interesting things he can sell us. And I feel like a lot of people, if they just don't go to this merchant to check him out, are not aware of him selling anything. And he's got some nice items, you'll see in a second. Alright, have you built this? Yes, you have, thank you.
Was wünscht ihr?
Now we can make more of you.
Ja?
And what should we do next? Smelting Works, maybe. Kinda useless at this point, because, actually no, we've got quite a bit left. Alright, never mind. Should be fine.
Tiaras Feuer erleuchte euch, Mensch. Möge euch das Glück holder sein als mir.
Ihr seid verletzt?
Die Wunde eines Speers. Es wird viele Monde dauern, bis ich wieder einen Bogen halten kann. Verflucht seien diese Bestien. Sie werden die Tore der Heimstatt überrennen.
Sprecht ihr von den Orks?
Nein, von den Tiermenschen. Sie haben bereits ein befestigtes Lager im Südwesten errichtet. Sie dringen ständig weiter vor. Es war meine Aufgabe, unsere Grenzen dort zu schützen. Doch sie sind wie Kakerlaken. Für jeden, den ihr zertretet, kommen 3 neue. Bitte findet sie, jagt sie, bringt mir ihre Mähnen und ich werde euch fürstlich entlohnen.
That shouldn't be an issue. Now, these beasts down here, right? You can't see them yet, but they live here. They, in the lore, come from the Stormcleaver Rocks. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the English translation as well, right? Now, that's interesting because Stormcleaver Rocks is an actual location in Breath of Winter, which, for those of you who are a bit versed in the geography of Io, is on Urgath, not on Fiora. It's actually very, very far away from here. What that does imply, though, is that there is a portal connecting Eloni to the Stormcleaver Rocks for whatever reason. Now that's not too unlikely, considering that this series has a lot of portals we never see, but that are mentioned to exist. Basically how it works is we only see the portals that are necessary for us to actually proceed through the game. Other portals will either, a couple of times, at least appear as broken, so we can't use them, or they will just be there, and people will mention them in some conversations, but we will never actually get to see them for this one. So it's not unlikely that this part is connected to the Stormcleaver Rocks, and yeah, it's pretty interesting that, you know, you could go to Urgath all the way from here using portals. I don't think it's the most logical thing to do, to have a portal here, or even to go to Urgath, because why would you? But, you know, everything considered, yeah, there should be one. How much sense it makes, who knows, maybe they just reused the name. That's also likely, but I wouldn't find it too out of the ordinary, because there are even some places that we'll see later, in both SpellForce 1 and 2, that even though they are very far apart, are still connected by portals. Okay, now you have a couple of things for us. Cattle breeding, grain farm, fishing guild, sawmill, everything goes into our pockets. We'll sell a couple of things here that we don't need, and a couple of rune warriors. Now these are not that good. Actually, these are pretty good. Daedra, Skyrim reference, question mark. This guy, do we want to buy him? I don't think it's necessary at the moment, so we'll leave it. I think he also sells a diamond, he does. Both of these ones we'll need for side quests. A Malachite and a Sapphire. I don't want to buy them now, especially the Sapphire is expensive as all hell. But yeah, at some point we'll get them. Now, for our build, we want some armor. On 2, so I can actually put on useful equipment. Like this here. And this helmet. Well, it does have a better armor class, so we'll do it. Light combat, light armor, armor class 2, dexterity. It does give us a bit more, I'll be honest with you. Armor class 2, intelligence 4, wisdom, charisma, I'll do this one. Alright, let's see. Swadis, what do you have for us?
Bitte, Fremder, lasst mich in meinem Schmerz allein. Viele unserer Verletzten werden sterben, wenn niemand nach Graufurt durchdringt. Die Waffen der Angreifer sind verseucht und giftig. Und nur Händlerin Valdis verfügt über die Wundtinktur, die unsere Verletzten vor dem Wundbrand bewahren kann.
Right, so, not very optimistic. Not very optimistic, that girl, but you know what? It's understandable with the situation they're in right now. This one, let's do here. It doesn't look the nicest, but whatever. And I do want to have a white hand. Kind of. This is a tower, which I never really understood. I mean, I get it. To an extent. But as a tower, it's so difficult to actually place it anywhere, because it's huge. So I like to use it decoratively, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, honestly, we'll just put one here. Makes absolutely no sense, it's gonna be useless, but let's do it. For these buildings, small headquarter, so we can put that one over here. That one too. These two don't require anything extra, so they will go in front of my small headquarters. This one too. Now it does mean we have to resort a lot, but I like it this way. Okay, and we can actually put these Rune Warriors in now, so let's take the other two out. I'm not gonna sell Cord. Cord always goes with me. Doesn't matter how far we go. But I do want to put a little bit of something on these guys over here. Agility, Wisdom, Stamina. This is better for her. Some pants. These ones, maybe. These ones fit more. But what's he gonna wear then? Yeah, I'll give these to her. I mean, we're gonna get better ones eventually, so it doesn't matter all that much, but for now, let's do it like this. Here you go. And some sort of shirt. This one should do just fine. Okay. I think that's the talk we had to do with pretty much everyone. There's a couple of things I still want to build, like a grain farm, which I want to make here. Make it close enough to go to the food store. Absolutely unnecessary in every regard, but I still want it, because it looks nice.
Ja?
Sawmill we could also maybe make. Like a sawmill over here.
Schon dabei. Bereit. Und los.
And let's move on. Let's push out. The actual counterattack still hasn't happened. These are just regular waves. I think I need to cross this threshold here, or here, around this part, for these guys to attack me. Now, they are a bit stronger than the level ones we have over here, but still, for the army we have at the moment, not too big of an issue. 600 Aria, 400, nah, forget that. I'll make a couple of them, but no upgrades for you, my guy. They're expensive as is, so I don't really want to make them more expensive.
Ein
There we
Gegenangriff.
go.
Wappnet euch. Rasch.
We can just stand here. And she just goes back in. I think that's fine. Whatever the case, let's kill these guys. And move on.
Vorsicht, sie sind hier.
Light blade weapons we cannot use. I do feel like one of the downsides of using piercing weapon, and I like how half of my army... I'm gonna die here. I'm dead. Oh my... Okay. Now that's insanely unfortunate. Lucky for me, half of my army is literally not attacking. So, we got very fortunate with the soldier selection over here. I wish they would do something. And there we go. Right. Okay, luckily we leveled up. So we didn't lose a lot of XP, but you do lose XP when you die. Yeah, that's, I could cut that from the Let's Play. I could. I'm probably not going to, because it would be weird. And I think it's a fun moment, you know. It's not the first time that I died in this game by just paying attention to something completely irrelevant and dying because, you know, for some reason my character is in the middle of 4 or 5 orcs and they're just blasting on him. But hey, that's part of it. That is part of it. Nothing we can do. Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. Especially for someone who has a channel focused on SpellForce, and it's like, you know, yeah, I'm kind of the guy you watch on YouTube when you want SpellForce content, and then I die on the 3rd map of the campaign. But you know what, it happens. It can happen. It's not the end of the world. I don't think it's gonna set us back all that much in terms of XP, so we'll just roll with it and pretend it never happened.
Ja, erwarte euer Kommando.
It'll be hard to ignore it from, you know, people mentioning it in the comments, but we'll do our best. We will do our best.
Erwarte euer Kommando.
But yeah, this is one of the issues of SpellForce 1, I feel like, in particular. Sometimes your units will just not attack. Even though the enemy is right there and other units are attacking them, your units are just gonna sit there and be like, you know what, that's none of my business, I'm not gonna do anything. So, yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, but it just kind of happens, right? It just kind of happens. Nothing we can do. What we can do, though, is before moving on to the actual portal, I want to take care of the Drake over here. It's gonna save us a lot of walking time later. It's not necessary to do it now. You could just go to the portal and clear the main part of this, you know, mission. But I don't want to do that. I found that this is a little bit more time-saving, and, you know, you can never save too much time in this game.
Auf meinen Befehl.
All right, let's get in there. You know what, actually, because I'm kind of scared of my character dying, I'm not gonna go in there. I'll just send my people to go in there. I'll defend if any of these goblins go through, while they can actually take care of the big threat. The reason why I don't want to go in there is, if I go first, I'm gonna get a fireball. No, I said without me. I'm gonna get a fireball in my face. That fireball is going to do a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage. And it might, you know, there might be the risk if I, you know, get a second one of just dying. If I send my men in first, on the other hand, so many of them are going to be attacking the Drake that me being there is flat out useless. So it's a big pretty high risk for no reward, really. If I was playing an archer or a mage, I would definitely go with them, because it would give me the opportunity to actually do damage and kill Fafnir over here a bit quicker. Well, you're dead. Okay, no, she's not dead. But yeah, as things are, that's kind of unnecessary. Yeah, and he does a lot of damage, so you don't really want to be there when he bites you. 22, or she bites you? Fafnir sounds a bit feminine, honestly. Probably a she. Oh, let's go with that. It's a she. It's a she. And she is not really a problem for an army, but nonetheless dangerous. Big danger over here. There we go. Stone of the Eternal Fire, and now we can move on.
Here. Sofort.
Now I could build some stuff here, if I really wanted to. But I don't need it. 3,000 iron, more than enough. Wood, stone, I don't need anymore, so we'll just leave it as it is. You guys, I won't need up there, but I might need you later for the Beastmen, so you guys just go down. And alright, let's do the final leg of this map, before we go to Leafshade. We still have a couple of things to do after we get to the portal here, which is the annoying part of the actual map, where we have to walk all the way back down and all, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't think it'll be too bad. We've done most of the things, just getting to the portal and then doing this little... Wow, I say little, it's not really a little section of the map, it's kinda big, actually, for what it is, but we have to do it regardless. Anyhow, let's go. And for anyone wondering, if... Yeah, is there a mod that adds portals to the maps? So for example, just regular portals that don't lead to anywhere, but you can just add for, you know, visual purposes. If there is, please add one for here, for the Stormcleaver Rocks. It doesn't have to go to the Stormcleaver Rocks, just add one so it's there. You know, I don't know, I do remember trying to do that myself at some point in the past, and one of the issues I had with it is the fact that it was, oh my lord, I think he might be dead. No, he's gotten healed. Okay, he got healed. One of the issues I had with that is the fact that it was really difficult to make a portal show a name without connecting it to anything, and that caused some issues back, you know, when I tried it. I'm not the best at these kinds of things though, so people who are more versed with modding this game, I'm pretty sure shouldn't have too much of a difficult time doing it, but if anyone is looking for inspiration for a mod to make, that's my suggestion. Alright, let's talk to the last one here as well. No. Please. Oh, come on. Come on. See, that's why I never like to do that before I clear this. Just, please stop. Please, I just want to talk to you. Oh, come on. Can we do a little bit of a conversation here? Is that in the cards? There we go. No? Okay. I guess I have to wait until you go all the way back. Unfortunate.
Gebt das Zeichen.
Tiresome. Cumbersome, rather.
Einsatzbereit.
But nothing we can do. Alright, you guys clear this. I will have to talk to them again for some reason, because they decided that it's a good time to intervene here. Even though so far they've been hiding, quote-unquote, but they seem very eager to help.
Bleibt stehen. Keinen Schritt weiter.
Ich bin keiner von Brannigans Leuten.
Nun, wer auch immer ihr seid. Ihr hättet euch keinen unpassenderen Zeitpunkt aussuchen können, hier aufzutauchen.
Kehrt heim. Der Weg zurück in euer Dorf ist frei.
Haben die Schwestern aus der Heimstatt euch geschickt?
Ja, Sidahan hat mir von euch berichtet.
Nun gut. Ich vertraue euch, Fremdling. Kommt, Schwestern. Kehren wir heim.
Alright. So now you go home. Now you go home. Alright, alright. Could have, you know, just went earlier when you saw us attacking here, but okay, to give them the benefit of the doubt, they wanted to help. They saw this opportunity and were like, alright, you know what, we're gonna support this guy. We're gonna support this fella, we're gonna help him clear this. Which, you know, fair point, fair point. How's this going over here? We getting some food? We are, let's go.
Auf mein Kommando. Und los!
Alright, let's get rid of this as well.
Sofort! Schnell!
Sind auf Feinde gestoßen.
Are the SFX... Let me try something. I just want to try one thing. SFX volume off. Okay. So no special effects volume. Okay, that's great. Now I know what to do. Because in the videos, when I upload them, I usually adjust the volumes a little bit because I want to be, you know, want you to be able to hear me more than the fighting going on in the background. So let's reduce the SFX volume because I don't think it's that necessary.
Mir nach.
I don't think it's that necessary. Now, we may have reduced it a little bit too much here. Sorry for tinkering with this right now, but I just kind of want to get it nice for the video. And it's kind of a trial and error thing, you know, when you do Let's Plays like this. It's, you know, what do I need to do? What do I need to change? How much of this do I need to add? How much of this do I need to take away for the video to actually sound good in the end? So, yeah, there's always something to work on. And even on a video-to-video basis, you'll always notice things like, you know, I could have done this better in my last video. I could have done that better. I could have, you know, this was maybe a bit too loud. This was maybe a bit too quiet. So, yeah, always a game of going back and forth for this. But it's a nice game, I like it. Because it makes you be better on your video journey. You edit better, you create higher quality videos, which is also one of the things that kinda made me not want to do a Let's Play for SpellForce when I first started my channel, because you know, people wanted a Let's Play for a long time. I wanted to make one for a long time, but I was never really happy with the quality. I remember my first videos, and it wasn't on this channel, it was on a very old, I think the channel's now deleted. But my first videos when I was a child, I also tried making a SpellForce Let's Play, and that was horrible. The video was really, really bad. And I didn't want that to be kind of the standard I set for a Let's Play. I wanted this to be a genuine Let's Play, that even people who aren't interested in SpellForce in particular can see, and perhaps get interested. So I wanted it to have a certain degree of quality. And I hope this one has. I mean, so far I've been happy with how it turned out. Obviously you can tweak things here and there, but I don't think it's been too bad.
Ihr seid es.
Yes, it's me. Give me something.
Willkommen zu Hause.
Das verdanken wir nur euch. Hier, nehmt das. Ich hoffe, es wird euch nützlich sein.
Oh, thank you very much. What's that? Oh, there's an orc here. Oh, you sneaky bastard. You sneaky bastard over here. You know what? We do need to wait for our units to come back. So, why don't we take care of you? How are you even standing here, like a mountain goat? But you know what? We will take care of you. Nothing to worry about. Okay. What else can we do? What else do we need to do? I think that's pretty much everything for this map. The only other thing is clearing out the bottom left part, which, you know, we'll get to in a moment. Apart from that, though, pretty well cleared out. button. For this one we are... Okay, yeah, we can do that. Maybe make a couple more units. Not that we need to, but since we have to wait, we might as well make a couple of these, make a couple of marksmen, maybe even recruits. Why not? Elf settlement. Let's do that. And walk down there. Let's do third person mode as well, because why not? In the quieter times, in the playthrough, when you don't have to fight actively, when you just kind of get to relax, chill out for a moment. Third person mode's there to help you. Okay, let's follow these down there. Just walking with my army. I also like the fact that you can, you know, see the models a bit clearer. I feel like a lot of effort has been put into these models just because of the fact that you are able to go this close, you are able to see them. So, one of the other positive and underrated things of, you know, just having the third person mode in the game, because I think if that wasn't the case, so if this game had no third person mode, the need for making them like this, you know, writing, you know, putting all this detail here just wouldn't be the same, because from here I can't see it that well, but from here I can. So that's nice. I like that. I do like that. Alright. Now, let's help our boy Genkwai, the same-faced individual that we have here. Actually, I don't think... Can I talk to him? Do I need to talk to him?
Bitte.
No. So let's just open it. Yep, there we go.
Marschbefehl.
Army.
Marschbefehl.
Let's get this over with.
Hier, schnell.
I do wonder how he escaped.
Mir nach.
I mean, you could... This doesn't look
Und
too
los.
steep to climb, so...
Mir nach.
You know, maybe a bit
Kämpft, Männer.
unfortunate for the entire army, but if you're an individual, you might be able to just kind of go across.
Sind auf Feinde gestoßen.
Come on, can we get this guy? Okay,
Verstärkt die
nice.
Verteidigung.
Auf meinen Befehl. Hier, sofort.
There we go. He's not difficult, he's just annoying for
Und
the most
los.
part. Now, do we, while I'm doing this,
Und los.
do we
Mir
have
nach.
any quests that we
Vorwärts.
need to take care of?
Folgt mir.
We could go to Valdis. We could go to Valdis and do
Sofort.
that whole thing. I don't think I will do
Bleib
that in
standhaft.
this episode, though. Free traders shouldn't be an issue from the
Vorsicht, sie
deep.
sind
We
hier.
can't do yet. I mean, we could at Leonon, but I don't think we have to. Conjurer's Chalk, we also don't have
Auf
to do
meinen
yet.
Befehl.
So I think for this one, I'm just gonna finish this map, and then in the next one, I'll go to Valdis
Bleibt standhaft.
and talk, you know, to her about the things we need to talk about. Because we're gonna have to go to Leonon anyway, and I feel like that's a...
Zur Ehre
well,
Aonirs.
not for the next one, but for the one after, for the shield. So maybe I should just wait for the shield, actually. Because when we do go back to Leonon,
Jawohl.
it's a good opportunity to visit Greyfell.
Befehl verstanden.
We'll see, we'll see. We'll do the quests 100%, right? We won't leave any stone unturned in this playthrough, but it's sometimes a bit difficult to know when I should do them. Because I feel like, on one hand, keeping them all bunched up, too bunched up, kind of ruins the flow of some of the quests. On the other,
Folgt mir.
if you do them at a...
Vorwärts.
You know, just do them as soon as they're available, like right now, I'll just go to Greyfell for that one thing, it kind of makes it feel like you're jumping back and forth too much for no real reason. Ishtar Sundancer, you have the same things that we don't need, but we will sell these to you. Big family, these three seem to be. Ishtar, Shadira, and what's his name? Genkwai. Alright, why not? Let's talk to them.
Grüße. Wie es scheint, verdanken wir euch unsere Rettung. In unserer aller Namen möchte ich euch von tiefstem Herzen danken. Viel länger hätte ich es in diesem stinkenden Loch auch nicht mehr ausgehalten. Man nennt mich Shadira. Ich und meine Gefährten hier sind Freihändler. Wir reisen durch alle Herrenländer, kaufen und verkaufen, wo sich die Gelegenheit bietet. Wir waren mit einer Lieferung nach Leonon unterwegs. Doch ehe wir uns versahen, waren wir ausgeraubt und eingekerkert. Die Manieren in dieser Gegend lassen doch sehr zu wünschen übrig.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the nicest place to be traveling with, or traveling through, rather, with cargo. I mean, could have picked a nicer route.
Was für eine Art Lieferung hattet ihr bei euch?
2 Wagen voller Feuerstahl von den Halliten. Dazu noch feine Roben und Schmuck aus der Hohen Mark. Hätte uns einen stattlichen Batzen Gold gebracht. Es ist ein Jammer.
Die Oger und Bestien scheinen sichtlich Gefallen an euren Waren gefunden zu haben. Wie es scheint, ist eure Ladung mittlerweile über das halbe Land verstreut.
Ja, sie schleppen die Güter als Trophäen mit sich herum. Ich möchte gar nicht wissen, was sie mit unseren Kostbarkeiten alles anstellen.
Warum der Umweg durch dieses Land?
Ich bin eine Närrin. Ich war diejenige, die Genkai überredete, eine Fahrt durch dieses entlegene Land zu unternehmen.
Aber ihr werdet doch sicherlich gewusst haben, dass man in diesen Landen nicht mit Geld, sondern der Waffe handelt.
Natürlich, doch meine Hoffnung darauf, ein wenig Arierfrost zu finden, hat mich verblendet.
Arierfrost?
Reinstes Aria, die Tränen des Wissens, fließendes Sternenlicht, das heilige Wasser der Erde, erstarrt zu vollendeten Kristallen. Arierfrost kommt nur an wenigen Stellen der Welt vor, dort, wo ihr Gesicht noch ursprünglich ist. Es ist wunderschön. Man sagt, selbst die Drachen erfreuten sich an seinem Glanz.
Nun, in diesem Land ist das Antlitz der Welt in der Tat sehr alt. Es mag sein, dass sich hier tatsächlich noch Arierfrost finden lässt.
Ja, das hatte ich gehofft. Doch nun ist alles dahin.
Well, we did find a little bit of that good stuff, so we can give it to her, but I'm not gonna get Hallit off the hook that easy. We'll
Ist
haggle
dies
a
hier
bit.
der Arierfrost, von dem ihr spracht?
Bei den Göttern. Es ist wunderschön. Wo habt ihr es gefunden?
In a bush.
Nun, wie dem auch sei. Ihr besitzt es jetzt. Aber sagt ehrlich, was wollt ihr damit anfangen?
Well, I could do a lot of things with it. I can sell it, you know. I'm not just gonna give it to her. That'd be too easy.
Ich meine, es hat ja keinen eigentlichen Wert. Und ihr wisst es nicht zu nutzen.
Well... Who knows?
Überlegt mal. Es wird nur Platz in euren Taschen wegnehmen. Und ihr werdet zweifellos niemanden finden, der etwas dafür geben wird. Wie gesagt, es ist ja nur von ideellem Wert.
Well, I mean, look, my pockets are unlimited by the fact that I already have like 5 shields stored in them, so I don't think this little bag is gonna make too much of a difference.
Nun, es gibt sicherlich einige Magier in Graufurt, die...
Ganz sicher nicht. Keiner wird... Ach, was soll's. Ihr wollt mich wohl unbedingt schröpfen, oder?
Yes.
Ihr müsst wissen, ich habe das nicht gerade hinter einem Busch gefunden. Es befand sich im Besitz einer Kreatur, die...
Schon gut, schon gut. Wer feilscht schon mit einem Runenkrieger? Ich habe hier etwas, das euch sicher zufriedenstellen wird. Das sind einige meiner besten Ringe. Wenigstens die konnte ich vor den Ogern verbergen.
Ring of the Thieves. Yeah, Thieves sounds good for me.
Auf meinen
For what
Befehl.
I'm specializing in.
Vorwärts.
Alright, we collected a lot of nice things
Schnell.
here. A lot of nice
Sofort.
things. You guys, my army, can move on. I will do a little bit of talking to a person chained up here.
Feindkontakt!
But I do want to check out the ring that she gave me. Let's see what this is about. Because I don't know the stats by heart, so... Was it that one? Light armor. Okay, at some point this will be
Vorsicht,
good.
Sie sind hier!
At some point this will be good. Right now it's not something we can use. Sadly. But okay.
Feindkontakt!
But whatever. Oh, level up.
Warte Befehle.
Huge. Okay, now I do want to send them up a bit early. While I'm talking with this guy over here, let's do the level up. Let's do piercing on 4. Because I want that to be the primary thing we're focusing on. We'll take a look at some merchants and see if we can actually get something with this. But yeah, piercing on 4. Let's see. Let's put a little bit of wisdom and intelligence in here. Just a little bit. And then the rest into dexterity and agility for the most part. And then I will put 2 points into strength to actually hit a bit harder. Alright, let's see.
Wer seid ihr?
Euer Befreier, wie es scheint.
Mein Name ist Istur.
Ihr seid schwach. Ruht euch aus.
Nein, muss ihn finden. Nehmt mir die Ketten ab.
Wen müsst ihr finden?
Meinen Bruder, Sharkna. Er wird sie alle töten. Ja, töten. Er ist besessen. Ein Wesen. Er hat es von jenseits des Todes gerufen. Es frisst seine Träume, seinen Geist. Es treibt ihn in den Wahnsinn. Er hat schon viele ermordet. Unter dem Bann der Kreatur. Nur der Tod kann ihn befreien, ihn erlösen.
Ihr müsst euch ausruhen.
Keine Zeit. Ihr müsst Sharknar finden. Tötet ihn rasch und nehmt euch in Acht. Sein Tod wird den Dämon freisetzen. Er muss vernichtet werden, ehe er sich einen neuen Sklaven suchen kann. Das Wesen besitzt einen Stein, eine Kugel aus Obsidian, summend, erfüllt mit unheiligem Leben. Dort hinein band er die Träume seiner Opfer. Bringt sie zu mir. Wenn ich den Stein studiere, finde ich vielleicht mehr über diese Kreaturen heraus. Findet Sharknar. Geht, beeilt euch. Folgt diesem Weg nach Westen, in die Berge. Und seht euch vor, er ist ein mächtiger Nekromant. Sehr mächtig.
You know, when I first played this game, I actually thought that Sharknar was the Dark One that, confronted us in Greyfell. I don't know why I thought that, I just kind of did. It doesn't make sense story-wise, but still.
Warum seid ihr hier gefangen?
Ich bin meinem Bruder Sharknar gefolgt. Ich wollte ihn aufhalten, bevor er wieder Fuß auf besiedeltes Land setzt. Aber diese primitiven Bestien haben mich wie ein Tier hier angekettet. Sie ahnen nicht, welche Gefahr in diesen Bergen auf sie lauert.
Alright, I mean, that's unfortunate for him, but we'll help you, little guy.
Sofort.
You guys will help him, that is. I will wait here, because there's no need for me to actually go up there. That's why it's nice to have an army.
Erwarte Befehle. Augen
That's why
offen
it's
halten.
nice to have an army.
Marschbefehl.
Let's see.
Augen
Also,
offen halten.
for those who've played Breath of Winter, which I'm assuming is pretty much everyone who
Gebiet
watches these
sichern.
videos, there will be,
Bin unterwegs.
I don't want to call it a
Befehl
callback,
verstanden.
but kind of a
Alles
similar
klar.
situation to this one with a character from Breath of Winter. So basically a dream snatcher kind of demon from
standhaft.
beyond from beyond the grave, basically, taking over a body and, yeah,
Vorsicht, Sie sind hier.
doing something with it. And I think there's something in Shadow of the Phoenix as well, in the City of Souls, similar
Sind auf Feinde
to
gestoßen.
where you can find like a dream snatcher like this. Alright, humming obsidian, that was easy. Honestly, I don't think he could have cleared this village here. I really doubt it, but okay. I do see why he would be dangerous, necromancy. The demon, he could probably kill some people, so... I feel like we're taking killing too lightly here. Because we just kill people, we don't care that much, but, for regular folk, it kind of is a big deal.
Ich kenne euch.
Good that you know me. I would be concerned if the 2 minutes I was gone made your memory fade.
Ist dies der Obsidian?
Das ist er. Dann habt ihr den Dämon bezwungen? Sharknar. Er möge in Frieden ruhen. Lasst uns hoffen, dass dies der letzte Traumdieb war, der von jenseits des Todes zu uns kam.
I find that doubtful in a world like SpellForce, but hey, you do you. Okay, now we're almost done with this map. There are two things we need to do. One of those being that we can destroy the rune monument here, or give it free, release it.
Erwarte euer Kommando.
Why are you guys alive? Oh, because the second monument's still going. Okay, no mind. For a second I thought, like, what, is that a bug? Ah, there we go. Looks a bit sad, but there is a method to my madness, which is just exchanging the rune for the workers. I want a better one. I might forget for the next level, and this way we don't. And now, Jenkwai.
Bitte, helft mir, Freund.
What about you, Jenkwai?
Eure Begleiter sind frei.
Bei den Göttern. Danke, Freund. Wir Freihändler sind kein reiches Volk. Ich hoffe, einer dieser Ringe hier wird euch als Entlohnung genügen. Das Band des Streiters wurde einst von den Rittern Northandas in der Schlacht getragen. Es vermag euren Waffenarm zu stärken. Der Ring des reinen Geistes war einst das Geschenk der talindischen Magiergilde an ihre Novizen. Er vermag euren Geist zu stärken und eure Gedanken schneller fließen zu lassen. Der Ring der verbundenen Wege wurde einst für die Paladine Tiaras gefertigt. Er stellt Geist und Körper.
So it's basically a warrior ring, a mage ring, or the connected paths. I'll take the connected paths, I think.
Der Ring der verbundenen Wege soll mir genügen.
Herzlich gerne. Er möge euch allzeit schützen.
Thank you, Wormic. Okay, we can actually use it. So, dexterity, intelligence. Yeah, let's do that like this. Okay, and one last thing would be to go to the village and talk to Ashway here. Because we do want to get rid of... We only have one. Wow, that's insane. I don't think I've ever had a playthrough. There must be some I've missed, no? Wow, okay. I don't think I've ever had a playthrough where... Yeah, I only got one here. Usually it'd be a bit more, like 2 or 3, but never one. Wow, okay. I mean, nothing we can do about it, but we might as well give that one to her. It is a little bit weird. It is a little bit weird, though.
Ah, ihr seid es.
Oh, I forgot to talk to her about this, but, you know, let's do that too.
Wo finde ich die Tiermenschen?
Sie kamen von den Sturmfelsen zu uns herab. Sie haben sich im Südwesten angesiedelt, nahe dem Portal, das dorthin führt.
Warum habt ihr sie nie vertrieben?
Sie finden immer wieder ein Versteck, verkriechen sich unter irgendeinem Stein und mehren sich dort von Neuem. Sie wuchern wie ein Geschwür.
Wie stark sind sie im Kampf?
Sie sind wild und zäh, aber dumm. In ihrer Kampfkraft ähneln sie den Orks.
See, this is what I meant earlier. She says straight up that there's a portal here. There should be a portal here to the Stormcleaver Mountains, she says here. The name in German is the same in Breath of Winter. They changed I'm not sure if they changed the English one. I've never played those games in English. But yeah, I'm assuming like here, maybe. Or maybe up here. There should be a portal to the Stormcleaver Rocks. We just don't see it. So that's often the case in SpellForce 1. Keep that in mind if you're doing like D&Ds and stuff. Some places are connected, even though we never see it.
Ah.
Ich bringe euch eine Mähne.
Hervorragende Arbeit, Krieger. Hier ist eure Entlohnung. Rastet nicht, ehe nicht jeder einzelne von ihnen zur Strecke gebracht ist.
Alright, I don't know how to tell you this, but there was only one. I wonder if she'd believe me. Probably not, but you know. Okay, Dryad Lake, Northern Cape. That should be it. So, let's save here. Do Eloni. 1, why not? We might do a 2 at some point. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole video. I think this might be the longest one so far. Probably is. Should be above, well, beyond an hour. And yeah, next time, we're gonna continue with Leaf Shade, which is no doubt going to be even longer. So, if you haven't yet, again, check out the Discord link below in the description. It should work. I had someone tell me that the link was broken for them, but then I see other people being able to use it to join. So if anyone tries and the link is broken for them, please let me know as well. I'll try to put a new link in there so more people can join. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a couple of days with Leaf Shade, and until then, bye!